Welcome. Welcome to the Opperman Report. You can find us here every Friday night, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, and also simulcast on CJ Mars Radio and 365 Live, normally. Tonight, we are not. I think CJ Mars Radio is down due to technical difficulties tonight. And I'd like to ask you to, well, circumstances beyond our control, let's call it that. And I'd like you to keep Cindy Jean-Pierre and her husband in your prayers and their family in your prayers tonight. CJ Mars Radio, Cindy Jean-Pierre, they're going through some, they need your prayers tonight, okay? And they need your support and your good thoughts and your well wishes. So we just pray that God blesses them tonight and God's with them and throughout their troubles tonight. We're also broadcast on shoutcast.com, and then throughout the week, well, I'm doing my intro there. Okay, Jackie. Then we're rebroadcast throughout the week on awakeradio.us and hazyradio.com and firehorseradio.com. Now, coming up in August, oh, by the way, tonight we got a great big guest coming up tonight. We have Jacque Hollander, and she has some personal experiences. She's going to be telling us about the real story about the real James Brown. She was involved in producing music for him and all kind of production deals and partnerships that they had. And then she had a real big problem and lawsuits and stuff. And she knows all kinds of information, too, about Al Sharpton that I don't think you're going to hear anywhere else. But we're going to be bringing her on in a second. I'll be introducing her. Coming up in August, we're going to start doing another show on Thursday nights on Shake and Wake Radio, with Rick and Annie, if you know those guys. And I'm going to be on their station on Thursday nights right around this time, 5, 6 o'clock. And also, too, Victoria's going to be doing a show on there. My daughter Victoria has her show Teen Truth that she does every Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on CJ Mars Radio. And she's going to be doing a show, too, as well over on Shake and Wake. Now, you could find the old Opperman Report shows on the Opperman Report YouTube channel and also on Spreaker.com and very soon on iHeartRadio. So I really need everybody to get behind us here on Spreaker.com and help support that the Opperman Report channel. Last week, you want to check out Thomas Sheridan. We did an incredible show last week about Jimmy Savile, this incredible guy in the UK who turned out to be a pedophile and a necrophilia, having raping dead bodies and corpses involved with serial killers. The guy was on the top of the pops. He was the host, BBC presenter. Big shot over there, knew the Queen, hangs out at Buckingham Palace, no stature, hangs out at the, wherever they call that, the White House over there in England. Okay. But it's a great show. Check out Thomas Sheridan and Jimmy Savile on the Opperman Report YouTube channel. We're getting a ton of response for that. And as a matter of fact, I want to welcome everybody who are Thomas Sheridan fans. We picked up a whole bunch of listeners last week, and they've all been commenting on all my different videos. So I know that we've picked up a lot of new listeners. Now, don't forget, freedomslips.com. It's a listener-sponsored station. So if you like what you hear, you got to go to freedomslips.com and click on the donate button. I also want to thank some guys over at freedomslips.com. Without mentioning any names in particular, Jerry, but who really, man, helped me out this week, man. Were really, really kind to me and very supportive of my struggles that I'm going through in my personal life, with my personal litigation. A lot of you guys are familiar with it. And a lot of the guys down at Freedom Slips really got together and really helped me out, man, in a big way. And Robin and Jerry and you guys and Kat. And I really want to thank you all. And, of course, always want to thank my producer, Ann Francis, and Christoph Moses, and Keith Davis. By the way, Keith Davis is going to be coming on in a couple of weeks when we have the heart attack coming on. Hart Fisher, a radio host and movie producer, fascinating guy. Next week we got Steve Wick, who is a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist for Newsday, and he wrote a book about the Cotton Club murders called Bad Company. And it's all about Roy Radin and the Process Church and Robert Evans and the murder of Roy Radin involving around the production of the Cotton Club movie that starred Richard Gere. And that's a fascinating story. And, in fact, we're going to be doing a whole series of shows on that. But like I said, tonight we have Jacque Hollander. She hails from Chicago. She's like a raising horses and all kind of stuff like that, but has a real big history in the music business and working with James Brown. Jackie, are you there?
Hi, Ed. How are you?
Jackie, I'm great, man. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. I know you're really busy with the big premiere of this big James Brown movie. I know a lot of people are bothering you. So thank you so much for coming on. Can you tell us about yourself and your life and your career?
Well, I've been in the music business most of my life. I was married to somebody in the Atlanta rhythm section for 15 years, and I worked with everybody. I mean, there's pretty much nobody I didn't work with. I was in country music. I was in rock music. I was in shag music, beach music. I worked with the Tams. I wrote a song for them. I did a song with Billy Joe Royal when he had his hit Burns Like a Rocket. I've worked with, Bertie Higgins. I worked with some of Leonard Skinner. I worked with ARS. I worked with some from Cameo. I've worked with a lot of people. And, of course, Mr. James Brown.
So you spent most of your adult career in the music business?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
So, and now you're you have like a farm, right, with horses and stuff. You were telling me.
I do. I have three horses, quarter horses. I bred my mare and artificially inseminated her, and I have this beautiful little male. He's a handful, I'll tell you that. And so I have three of them, and I also have my favorites are my pygmy goats. And my female goat, Miss Becky, she kind of got pregnant on her own without me breeding her, and she had little 3 teacup baby goats.
Did you force her to get married?
She already had a husband, and that's Mr. Wiggles.
All right, great.
and so I think she cheated on him.
Yeah, life on the farm, huh? Okay.
Yeah,
all the scandal that goes on behind the scenes on these farms, folks. Okay, so why don't you get started? What do you want to get started with the story? Like how you met James Brown, or what do you want to do?
I guess I can start off with, it's been a very rough road for 29 years for me. In the beginning, I was a songwriter and a record producer, and I used my talents to raise money for those less fortunate. I found out that I could do benefits, writing songs, bringing in nationally known entertainers that were all my friends, and we would do benefits, and we would raise up a lot of money for kids, sick kids, my country's veterans, because my dad was a vet, and, so I come from a long history of the Navy. And that was my calling, was doing for others.
Now, where was this, in Chicago?
No, this was in Georgia.
Georgia. And what year was this?
This was through the late 70s into the 80s.
Gotcha.
And I came up with this idea one night. I had just finished doing a song for the Marriott Corporation, and it was with Billy Joe Royal, and I had done a grand opening for one of the largest hotels in Georgia, and it was this really big thing, and I wrote this song, and the song was a gift to the city. My song was from the Marriott Corporation, and I had gone up, and I was driving around. You know how when you're young you do things, and I happened to meet this Falcon football player.
Okay.
And okay, I can't hear that. And, of course, I was a lot younger and a lot thinner and a lot prettier, okay? And I had met him, and he said, I saw you on the news today. I was actually kind of driving around to get away from the media, actually what I was doing kind of like now. And he said, have you ever thought about, doing something for us? And I said, well, what am I going to do for the Falcons and their football team? And he said, well, write a football song. And I went home that night and I thought, wow, I'm going to take the football players and I'm going to get them singing, and I'm going to put the Atlanta rhythm section on it, and I'm going to make it real big, and it's going to go raise money for kids. And, of course, my first choice was Ronnie Millsap. because I was country. You know, I was writing country, and this kind of where the Falcons practice was country.
Right.
And when I started dealing with the Atlanta Falcons, their choice kind of changed. The players wanted a soul singer. And, of course, they picked Mr. James Brown. And I went on to search to see if Mr. Brown, if I could even reach him to get in touch with him. And I did. And
were you a James Brown fan?
No, actually, no. Not at all.
Okay.
No, I was more the Beach Boys, and I love the Eagles, and I was just I love Frank Sinatra, and I'll go ahead and say it. Now I can't even think of his name. Barry Manilow.
Barry Manilow. Oh no, you almost had me there. I was going to take you out dancing for a minute, but now forget it. Okay.
I loved him. I mean, I loved Barry Manilow.
Okay.
I could listen to Barry Manilow and ABBA, you know, so no, I wasn't. And, but, you know, he, after a bunch of wrangling, he agreed to do it. He wanted to do it. I met his lawyer, Buddy Dallas, who had just come on, taking James Brown on, and his career was pretty much, he'd had some issues, and his career had sunk really low. And we decided that I had Coca-Cola. I had gone and gotten Coca-Cola as a sponsor, and I had a lot of big sponsors. And this was going to help needy children, children with disabilities, children from broken homes, children, you know, of abuse. And that's a big cause to me. And Mr. Brown wasn't, I don't think, used to doing for people, but I sat him down. I said, look, this is going to be good. And he really liked it, and we ended up doing a song, and we ended up doing a show, and it ended up becoming a standing ovation to a sold-out audience in the Fulton County Stadium. And one thing led to another, and he decided that we were going to become partners, and he liked the fact that I could pick these charities. He liked the fact that he could give. He liked the fact that he was learning that in life, sometimes you have to give back. You can't take it all. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're down on the rock bottom,
I hear you.
You can always find in your heart, even if you have nothing, if you give of your time, you're giving. And sometimes when someone is deathly ill or somebody's got no family, that giving can just change someone's life. And so he started learning, and we worked together like dynamite. I mean, we were very good together, and it excelled. Before it was all over, I decided that what we needed to do was create, because we were giving to so many charities. And in the 80s, money started flowing like champagne. And we were raising so much money. I'm talking maybe one charity, $80,000 for 6 hours on a benefit. Now, that's a lot of money.
So so during that time, that's pretty much how James Brown was making a living?
Huh?
So then, during that period, when you were running all these charities and all these like benefit concerts, that's how he was making a full-time living, just doing that?
No, he was not. He was doing his job, you know, working. I started writing for him. We worked very well in the studio. We started doing other projects. We did jingles. We brought money in for that. I'm not going to say everything was 100% charity, because, of course, we did things that made us money, too.
Okay.
You following me?
Sure.
And it was about 87. We had really, I had decided, I said, you know, I have an idea, we'll make a trust. And we were sitting down with this lawyer, Mr. Dallas, and I said, let's Mr. Brown said, well, let's call it Papa Got a Brand New Bag for Kids. And I said, no. I want to call it the I Feel Good Children's Trust.